Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and the introduction of the shape-shifting Skrull to the Marvel Cinematic Universe means that, for the more unhinged Marvel nerds, Captain Marvel might be hiding a darker truth. Specifically, the mystery of which character or characters in the MCU could actually be a SKRULL imposter. There was a fourth SKRULL who got away, and it was implied that these alien refugees could be embedded everywhere, some friendly, others more hostile. I investigated a similar theory recently with Nick Fury, but now let us turn to Carol Danvers in another episode of SKRULL SEARCH. Spoiler warning in case anybody there is into me running their own yard. What overlooked clues in the Captain Marvel movie could point to the possibility that Carol Danvers might be a SKRULL? But before I dive into the evidence, I should explain that SKRULL can copy a lifeform's appearance down to a DNA level. But in addition to that, due to advanced SKRULL technology, some SKRULLs can also imitate their target's powers and abilities. Varieties known as Super SKRULLs or War SKRULLs have been known to replicate superheroes. And in the Secret Invasion comic storyline, physically enhanced individuals like Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, were revealed to have been a SKRULL in disguise the whole time. So it is possible that superpowered individuals, not just seemingly trustworthy government officials, can also be liars. So is Captain Marvel SKRULL? Clue 1. Where has she been for 23 years? Also, does an impossible to answer question count as evidence? Well, if you believe in conspiracy theories, it sure does. At the end of Captain Marvel, we learn that Carol Danvers departed Earth in 1995, joining the SKRULL in their search for a new home world. In the movie's post-credit scene, she returns to Earth in 2018, shortly after the events of Avengers Infinity War. And a lot of things can happen in 23 years, folks, especially when your best friends are shapeshifters. One question that we asked with Nick Fury was, why didn't he page Captain Marvel for help during any of the other past emergencies on Earth, when the stakes seemed equally dire and apocalyptic? Well, could it be possible that Nick Fury did actually page Captain Marvel during each of those events, but just Captain Marvel never responded? Oh, what's this? Hellmouth open over New York, please help. Sorry, busy stealing others' identities. Yeah, this is a phone charger. I don't have a pager, I'm not 50. Maybe Captain Marvel only returns to Earth after Thanos' snap, when Earth would be weakened. But then again, after Thanos' snap, every alien race and planet would be 50% weaker. Carol or SKRULL, she would be just as freaked out as anyone else. And Marvel's Captain Marvel Prelude comic indicated that Nick Fury still trusted Captain Marvel as late as a couple years before Infinity War. So for another explanation, let's look at clue number 2. Carol is closer with the SKRULLs than anyone. Compared to every other character we know so far in the MCU, no one still alive has proven to have a more intimate relationship with the SKRULL than Captain Marvel. Early on, the SKRULLs scan Carol's memories. She later tells Fury that the one way to prove that you're not a SKRULL is to share a memory or secret about yourself that would be impossible for the SKRULLs to mimic. But if they had access to all of her memories, all of her subconsciousness, details that she herself didn't fully understand, the SKRULL should be able to replicate those details as well. Carol proved to Fury that she was real by photon blasting a jukebox, saying the SKRULL couldn't do that. But as I pointed out from the Secret Invasion comics, some SKRULL absolutely can copy powers. Actually, in Secret Invasion, Spider-Woman is revealed to be the SKRULL Queen Veranke. As the younger princess, Veranke was outcasted for her obsession with ancient SKRULL prophecies, preaching a coming wave of devastation and the need to take a world of blue as their new home. She was ignored, but then Galactus showed up and destroyed the SKRULL throne world, propelling Veranke to the throne, with Earth becoming the world of blue that the SKRULLs see as their prophesied forever home. Now, in Captain Marvel, Talos and his crew don't appear to be driven by any dogmatic agenda, but it is interesting that the movie gave him a daughter. Her name is never revealed. But there is a curious moment at the end when the daughter plays Uno with Monica Rambeau. Monica compliments their eyes, telling the SKRULL daughter, "Don't ever change your eyes." Clearly, Marvel is setting up Monica to one day join the MCU herself as the superhero Photon or Pulsar or Spectrum, whatever name they use. Would it be that shocking if they had a future in mind for this SKRULL daughter as well? Perhaps the most famous female SKRULL character, Veranke? Now, this girl's family is on good terms with Captain Marvel and Earth right now, but one theory for the next phase of Marvel films is that Galactus could be the next arch-villain. He's now a Marvel Studios property once again thanks to the Disney-Fox merger, and Marvel head Kevin Feige revealed that he was part of Galactus movie cameo negotiations for other projects.
Have you seen Vice? He's a little little cameo, little Galactus cameo in there that we helped him get.
In the Infinity Gauntlet comics, Galactus is one of the cosmic entities who gets real pissed off at Thanos after the snap. So maybe in the movies, the snap could awaken Galactus. Now, Ingame might be too soon for a Galactus appearance since it was written and shot before the Disney-Fox merger was finalized, but maybe a post-credits scene to Ingame or a future Phase 4 film. Galactus having destroyed the Skrull planet could be the event that radicalizes a number of Skrulls, making them desperate for a new home and leading a member of the younger Skrull generation to take extreme measures, like changing her eyes to those of a longtime human companion and posing as that human to infiltrate Earth and Earth's mightiest heroes. Now, if Marvel Studios has swapped in Captain Marvel for the Spider-Woman Secret Invasion role, I also think Avengers Endgame might be too soon to reveal this bombshell. But actually, let's look at Carol Danvers in the limited Endgame footage that we've seen. When Captain Marvel returns to Earth, she's definitely changed. She's got a new hairstyle, more golden lining on her suit, and she demands intensely, "Where's Fury?" And that's after creeping up behind the Avengers. No greeting whatsoever. Kinda like she's still learning how to human. Sure, maybe 23 years of space adventures changes a person, and the urgency of this moment leaves no time for pleasantries. Or she's a lion sack Skrull. Just remember that Brie Larson shot her scenes for Avengers Endgame before production started for Captain Marvel. So there may be some inconsistencies in Larson's performances between the two movies. And maybe that is by design. Maybe the before and after Carol Danvers are two different individuals. Look, I know if Captain Marvel ends up being a major butt kicker against Thanos in all of her binary glory, revealing her to be a Skrull imposter later on could strip the character of her uniqueness. But just something to keep in mind, let's say Captain Marvel ends up dying before the final act of Endgame. Like she's a big character, just not a decisive one. And then other characters end up going on to save the day. That honestly looks likely for this story. We would now have a very intriguing possible explanation for why that version of Captain Marvel is less of a closer. Cause maybe she is Skrull. Which Marvel character should we investigate next in this SKRULL search? Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. And check out my live comedy show in LA, Darkest Timeline Comedy, next show April 5th. Ooh, and if you're into sci-fi and superheroes, check out the channel Space Taste for new videos every Saturday. Like new Rockstars, Space Taste aims to tackle all the geekiverse has to offer. They break down the ethical themes of your favorite sci-fi films, they create time-lapse art fusions of classic comic book characters and more. Their latest video is a parody of E! True Hollywood Story, but instead of covering celebrities, it's centered on the Wolverine. This is one origin story that you haven't seen before, as it mashes up Wolverine with The Greatest Showman, and they're just starting out, so be sure to click on the link in the description box and check them out and subscribe. And be sure to comment that new Rockstars sent you. Thank you for watching, and no, I am not a Skrull, but I guess I wouldn't tell you if I was one.